Evo Japan announcements galore. We've got some collaborations going on. Street Fighter 6 Team Rejects drops a pretty fire roster change, and MK1 might actually be hitting the NRS curse. Welcome to Double Tap. This is a podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. I'm, of course, Crash, and with me on this episode this week, we've got StaticGorilla holding us down. What is going on, sir?
What's happening? What's up? I'm chilling, getting ready for a combo breaker.
Yes, combo breaker. Yes, we are actually on the eve of that. This is literally going to be Memorial Day weekend coming up. I actually will be in the U.S. Will I be in the U.S.? Yeah, I'll be in the U.S. then, so I actually get to celebrate it this year. I completely forgot it was a thing until someone I was talking to earlier told me about it. I was like, oh yeah, that's the thing. So we'll be celebrating getting the barbecue out and also the ass whoopings galore all weekend. So good luck to you out in Chicago for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to try to get there in one piece.
Yeah,
I got to drive
make it in
there.
one piece. Oh, you got to drive? Damn. Yo, the real world warrior right there.
Still
Road warrior, really. Oh,
yeah, I was going to Airbnb, then I decided not to. And anyway.
Guys, don't be static. Get your stuff done early.
I've got my room for a CEO, okay? So calm down, all right?
Before that, though, welcome, of course, though. If you're new, appreciate you hanging out with us and listening. This is Double Tap's podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. We got plenty of things to get into this week on this episode. Real quick, we did have a bonus round come out just this week on things Evo Japan, more about like the top base and such. So we're not really going to talk about Evo Japan, like the matches and the overall event and watching it. That's actually on a separate video. You guys go check it out at Double Tap FGC on our socials. It's going to be up. It's already up on our YouTube. Go check it out there, as well as on your favorite podcast platform of choice. We're going to be talking about all the other things that we didn't talk about on that episode, which were things like the announcements. Bro, we had a slew of things to talk or to watch and actually get shown off there. So we're just going to jump right off the rip with City of the Wolves. Andy, Mr. Bogart, the younger of the Bogarts.
Well, was he announced or was it just play?
Well, really, yeah, you're right. It wasn't announced. It's like we got to see some actual gameplay finally. So there was a bunch of people that went out to Evo Japan. It's got some recordings and got to have some impressions. So there's some footage that's now circulating and showing off, the movesets, what people's impressions are of them. So yeah, he's looking really good. First of all, Andy, his kit is going to be very similar to what's the other character? Yes, his disciple. You kind of see there's the similarities there. He's supposed to be a mix of him and my style, but you can kind of see it being more Andy's. But Andy's the more the master. He's the one that's the more refined. He's got the solid fireball that doesn't go full screen, right? But it's more of like he's more of a close range, mid range type of character. He's got a demon flip, an even trickier demon flip actually, because his EX. I don't know if you saw that, but his EX actually he disappears, so you actually don't even get to see like a starting animation. It's like you just gotta guess low grab. Or if you do the C version, it's like a cross up one, so he like kind of chops backwards. So if you EX or do it as a cross up, you actually can just cross up with it, which is just like
very reminiscent of Zeku.
Yeah, it's got some Zeku feels for sure. I mean, ninjas. What else? Yeah. What else can I say?
Well, yeah, ninjas. But yeah, I get. Yes, you're
right. But yeah, no, he's got some solid buttons. He's got a DP and all, but kind of like his DP is a little, what it looks like it seems to have a very like short range to it, so it's not going to be as explosive as others. But he's got some combo potential there. He's got some solid loops. Outside of his like C button, which seems to be a really good whiff punish. Like I said, I got all this footage from watching all the different YouTubers, fighting game content creators out there that are putting stuff up. Your Justin Wong, your Diaphones and all. His C button is a good whiff punish tool. Like I said, his fireballs look kind of tricky because it doesn't go full screen, right? So your Chun-Li players out there are like, all right, cool, no problem, no big deal. I'm sure you know Static all too well. Like, when it comes to those kinds of fireballs, they're almost like footsie tools more than anything else. You don't use them as a fireball war kind of like tool. It's more of just like, well, I have this extended poke I have that kind of travels versus it's like, oh, it's just plasma I get to chuck to zone you. It's like not really the case here with him.
Yeah, it's almost it was almost always as if he was like an underwhelming version of Ken in all those games. But like, I mean, I remember playing him back early Fatal Fury, and then I was like, why is he not in CVS 2? And then realizing, I liked him in the other game, Wild Ambition. When I remember Wild Ambition because my brothers, we were contemplating with my parents, do we want Smash 64 or do we want Wild Ambition? And they went Wild Ambition and ignored me. So that's what you get. Did we play Wild Ambition? Sure, like a little bit, but not enough to even remember the music. Not enough for me to remember the music and put it on these stages of this game that I have right now. But anyway, he does still look familiar to what I used to see. Like, even when I saw Hokutomaru the first time, I'm like, wait, he has Andy's moves? Did he always have Andy's moves? Is Hokutomaru Andy in Mark of the Wolves? Like, I don't know these things, but he does look like he has a lot of different variants to his fireballs. And I'm just curious as to where the feints are going to be. I didn't look in depth into that. I was just looking at the buttons. I'm sure he has a feint kick.
He has a feint kick. He also has a feint, sees a good feint as well, because it's a 2-hitter that you can then just like, that only comes out, the second hit only comes out on block or hit though. Like, so on whiff, it's not like you can like, it comes out or anything like that. The fireball has a good feint as well. He has some, like I say, he has some solid like areas from the footage I got to see.
Yeah.
But once again, once he's released and he's in the hands of all the monsters, all the warriors and everyone that's going to compete, we'll really see where he does stand. But at this point, like I said, mid-range kind of monster seems to be his go-to.
Yeah, he seems to have stubbier normals than expected. But I mean, most characters.
That was always him though, right? Like, wasn't he always like stubby?
In KOF 15, it was pretty stubby. 15? Yeah, 15.
15.
And then in 14, he looked like a PlayStation character.
Since then, though.
Yeah. So I do like the design. I hope there's a completely black outfit like in the Fatal Fury motion picture movie. Sorry, I'm a really big sucker for that scene where he's jumping off the building and in the smoke elbows the guy. Oh, so cool.
Edit color mode, baby. Huh? Edit color mode. Somebody's going to put it on there, the edit palette.
Do yourselves a favor and check it. It's all on YouTube, that entire movie. You want to see Kim in his glory and oh God. There's a scene at the end when Terry is like Super Terry. And mind you, this man's just a human and it's just powerful. Anyway.
Aren't they all just humans? Aren't they all just humans? Well, no, not all. Some of them are demons. But some of them are also like bionic weapons and all. But anyway, robots. But yeah, so besides Andy, we did get some love as well from other games. The one that you seem to be the most hype about, Virtua Fighter. We got to see a reveal for a certain somebody.
Calm down. You say I'm the most hyped for. I mean, I'm just hyped for what the rest of the cast is going to look like.
It seemed
I'm
like
not a Virtua Fighter aficionado.
No. I'm saying you seem very hyped for Wolf because you were like, yo, he looks amazing.
Yes, I agree. I'm hyped for what the game is going to look like. Yes, because the redesigns of the characters that I grew up with on Sega Saturn, granted, I was not good at Virtua Fighter, but then seeing Virtua Fighter age from where it was on Sega Saturn, and then later on seeing when I paid attention at like PS3, I think it was, going to Target and seeing like on PS3, like, whoa, that's Virtua Fighter, holy cow, it looked great then on PS3. So like for it to where it is now, I can't wait to see the redesign of other characters.
And this has nothing to do with the fact that Wolf's like video is basically a WWE like entrance, like intro WrestleMania type style that would easily get your attention.
That was cherry on top because I saw the picture first and I was like, whoa, that's Wolf.
I saw the picture. I was like, Ganondorf? What's going on here?
I know. I didn't even think Ganondorf.
I thought Ganondorf. I was like, what are we looking at here, son?
Look,
what is going on?
I was in church I was either in church or on the way to or just in the morning of. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. I'm like doing the media stuff. And I'm like, I got to see this.
Just so you guys know, StaticGorilla also ended up putting the video on the church wall in the because he's controlling
my bad,
the switcher,
yeah.
So he put that on there. Yeah, that's how dedicated he is. But he's not that into VF6. Sure. No, Wolf looks amazing. Very much a long way from what he was, and even in Virtua Fighter 5 and such. Like this is just such a injection of personality,
right?
That like just didn't really exist, right? Like this is no bash on the Virtua Fighter characters. Like they're very straightforward because they were like, it was about the gameplay, the gameplay.
Style.
Anything else was like, okay, little extra action, accents to put here and there, right? Akira is like the most karate guy you could. He makes for you look like he's got steeds, right? Like he is just that straightforward, flat, vanilla, and that's okay. There's not a problem with that. But obviously, since like even the first trailer where we got to see him and his outfit, his drip, and we're like, yo, what is all this steez coming from? Right? And then now you got Wolf coming out the way he looks. You're like, yo, what is going on here? Like this game, if the gameplay and the characters are then just gonna be this bigger than life feeling to it, the game's just gonna have such a soul to it, right? Like it was the right direction to go because it'd be, I think, harder to sell if you came out with kind of like those known characters. But at this day and age, where people kind of like want a little bit of that, like I said, personality, that soul in it, to kind of really resonate with people, like you need to come out bombastic like Wolf did in his intro. So I think overall the direction is great.
Yeah, I just wish they have more, because whatever that trailer that was afterwards, I mean, not trailer, the video they put in about the esports, and then they showed this trailer again and showed some of the background. It was very underwhelming because people were expecting a bit more. But if we're gonna get a character every show or every video that they put out, and that's cool and all. They did tease a character at the end who I thought was Jeffrey because of his hair, but then I slowed it down. I looked at the clothing. People are saying Brad, and I tend to agree with them.
Brad, yes. Yeah. Bradifer.
And if anything, maybe Lion.
I don't know.
Lion. I don't know.
Leon.
I'm
not sure.
Yeah.
I'm definitely feeling Brad. All we need is an old man to show up, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, now we know.
Old man? What you mean, old man?
The old guy.
Oh,
the Jamie's before Jamie.
Oh, the drinking dude. Apparently, according to some guy in my local, he said he died. So
he's dead. Yeah. Well, a lot of drinking and getting old. It's herbal tea, guys. It's not alcohol. Remember, Jamie even said so. It's a family tea recipe.
So I'm down to see. I'm down to see. Every time I saw like an Akira player, you're like scared because you're like, you knew they put in homework.
Self unblockables. Right. It's a real thing in that game, at least with Akira at the time. So this isn't the last of the announcements. We have some plenty more, but one of the not smaller ones, but one of the ones that kind of like came and went really quickly. AWT Finals, the Arc World Tour 2025 or 2025 to 2026 year has already been announced as to where it's happening. It's actually in Seoul, South Korea. So dope. Not in LA, not in America. It's heading out to Seoul to be the proving ground for, if Red Ditto is just gonna wake up, take a flight, and then just take another tournament just for the heck of it, or not. But yeah, it's gonna have Under Night, of course, Strive, and of course Grand Blue Fantasy Rising in the roster. They just announced that, as well as showing the Unica trailer, her intro trailer anyway, to the crowd. Not outside of the leaks or anything like that. We won't be discussing the leaks here. They happened. But we actually got to see the in-game render of her and her intro. And I have yet to see the show.
Right.
I have yet to see the show.
Okay.
So they were also very upfront with it. They said, hey, there's a trailer with her in it. There are no spoilers in this. So I appreciate you, Arc System Works, for at least putting that out there when you actually decided to announce it, or rather to show it off. Because if it would have shown spoilers, it would have pissed off so many people, including myself. So AWT has some, Arc World, Arc System Works, had the Arc World Tour and the Unica trailer that came out. So not like anything super flashy, but it was still good content to show off, to show what's coming up. Because Strive is still going. Long in the tooth there, but it's still got plenty of things to come up with.
I did watch episode 1 and 2. I watched them late at night. I may have fallen asleep and rewatched the end of episode 2 about 5 times. Not because it was boring, but because I was very tired.
You already hear StaticGorilla is getting too old for these anime binges, so he's gonna go take a quick break.
Oh, like
he's gonna go take a quick break.
Now? Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna go take a quick break. He's gonna get some coffee. And when we come back, we got some more Evo announcements and other regular announcements coming up. Don't go anywhere. Yes, some coffee, or as my wife calls this, tealess, leaveless tea, aka water, is what I got.
I have water.
So
too.
we're back. We've got plenty more to talk about. I know we did. I meant to bring up Virtua Fighter 5 as well. Actually, when I was still on my Virtua Fighter 6 talk, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo coming out to Switch, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 5 as well. Switch 2, excuse me. Switch.
Yeah, because imagine.
Switch 2 coming out as well, and people are mad hype. Actually, fun enough, on Twitter, from what I've seen, I'm seeing more replies about like people showing off Virtua Fighter 5 on their Xbox 360, like they still have it, like, and they're showing it all, like, yeah, so glad like it came back, because it was like an exclusive, I think, for a while on Xbox before it came to the PlayStation. So that was like the only way to like play it for quite some time. But good to know that they're like, hey, we're just gonna, New Balance patches, they're gonna keep supporting it, but hitting more consoles. So good on them for doing that. So Virtua Fighter is definitely, they're trying to put it, Sega's trying to put it right in front of everybody to see as soon as we gear up towards that Virtua Fighter 6. All right, so with that, we've got did we do this one yet? Let's keep it on a lighter note right now. Hold on. We unfortunately, so here in the Mash Those Buttons network, we have plenty of other shows that carry on and check out other games. One of the unfortunate collaborations we never got a chance to do until now, it only took Blizzard however many years to do it, was with Watchpoint Radio. It's an old, one of our original shows for Overwatch. I think to the extent of Overwatch 2, can't actually remember. It was pretty long running. Well, Overwatch finally decided to make a collab with fighting games. Ta-da. And sure enough, with Street Fighter 6. Ta-da. So we, yeah. Well, I'll give them credit though. The trailer is just levels of, love for the history of the game. Because it's funny. Every time I see anything that like even remotely calls out to Street Fighter 2, yeah, I think of like Brian Epps' tweet and such, where he's like, can we stop focusing on Street Fighter 2 and just focus on the now? Because this was like talking about like when Fortnite, did the announcement, and what's the first thing you see is Street Fighter 2 cab. But we were already in Street Fighter 5 at that point, right? And it's like, okay, like, but it's because that's how impactful that particular game is. So they basically recreated the intro to Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo in Overwatch, or rather they're in this trailer. And we got to see just a closer look at all the characters that are getting some crossover costumes. So we've got Chun-Li with oh my god, I just had her name, Juno. Juno, thank you. I was like, it's like Jupiter, so that's with another J. Yes, Juno. We've got Winston, that it has a Blanca skin. We have Zenyatta with the Dhalsim, which primo. Yeah, it couldn't be any more correct there. We have of course Hanzo with the Ryu, which, I mean, it seems like it's being stated, but we didn't see it in the trailer outside of like the emote. But I'm assuming maybe his fireball is, I don't think he does the fireball motion to do his ult, but I think it's definitely an emote.
I think it's an ult. If not,
he will say Hadouken. It'll definitely still say Hadouken. It's just I don't know if he'll do the motion. I mean, because he still has to do the arrow animation.
Every other extra skin that Hanzo has had, his ultimate is doing like all of the other, like it's doing like double wolves or double dragons or double snakes or something.
But I'm trying to think, what's this gonna be? Just like an MVC style beam, just
Shinku Hadouken. That's it.
Okay.
I really like Sigma Bison though. That was like
Sigma Bison fits. That is just Sigma, as good as the Dhalsim Zenyatta.
Yeah, ever since Sigma had one of the costumes, I forget which one it is, but I think it's the space one. The space one where you had the hat on. I'm like, oh, this looks like Bison. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think Soldier is right up there. Yeah. Guile, Soldier. Yep. Looks about right. Scar throws me off a little bit, but it is what it is. Scar. And then we've got Kiriko as Jury, which I think is honestly a bit of a miss when you're looking at characters. But we were just talking shop with Ja before the show. Yeah. He's like, hey, he believes like, hey, they're putting it to popular characters. Yes. I would say, okay, Kiriko is a very, very popular character. Juno's a very, very popular character, so makes sense. And why not throw it on those characters to have kind of those iconic ones that the internet will love and will want to pay for and have in their collection, right? All of them, all the way up to this last one, which I just want to be out here and be very straightforward. Widowmaker as Cammy.
Perfect.
Wrong.
Oh.
It is a nerfed version of Cammy. Blizzard, you are cowards. Should have given her the full leotard. That's a bathing suit. You guys are fucking liars. Respect the source material. Come on. Besides that, no, she looks great. She looks amazing. She looks amazing. That's very fitting. I mean, Cammy is an assassin by trade. She has the assets to be Widow as well, to kind of live up to that very heightened, voluptuous reputation that she has.
At the end of the video, they do show the Hadouken emote. So my bad.
Yeah, it's a Hadouken emote because he has all those. He has all those.
They're still hoping though.
Maybe.
The dark Hado. No. And Ryu with tattoos is kind of weird. But one thing I do want to say is like it's interesting what costumes they went with for specific like retro vibes. Like they went with Cammy retro, Ryu retro, and Chun-Li retro, and dare I say Bison retro as well, because Bison's current is the whole cape and
disheveled look.
But Blanca is current. And
Jury,
the other one, Jury, and Dawson is retro as well. I mean, it's not much you can really do with Dawson, but Jury
give him a beard. What do you mean? Give him a beard.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess
he does have a beard now.
But Jury is bald. Dare I say?
Is she?
Like
no?
Is she Street Fighter 4 or it's her current? It is her current.
Yeah, that's her current. That's definitely 6 because
Street Fighter 4 has
because the spider tats is what you can tell.
Yeah,
the spider tats on the tats is how you could easily tell if it's the current one.
You're right. Okay, I do see it now. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it looks like they went.
Look at that.
It looks like they went 3 and 3, right?
Kind of wish they went Street Fighter 5 route. I don't know. I really like Street Fighter 5 Jury costume. I just don't like her in the game.
The 4 costume was good, but or 5, that 5 costume was also
with the eye patch.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like they went half and half. So they went with new with some of them, half with 4 of them new, and then or current, and then 4 with the classics.
I can't get by Chun-Li's shoes.
those big old beaters.
Juno boots.
Yep. I mean, it makes sense. Got a kick. Might as well have some good pumps while you're at it.
All right, skip.
All right, so that actually went down over the Evo weekend. There was actually a new trailer that had dropped at this point of recording today with the actual in-game render, with the rest of the in-game renders for everybody, which just showed it all off. So those are going to be coming out hopefully sometime soon. They keep saying it's coming soon. Just can't tell when it's happening at
Which
the moment.
Which one? Overwatch?
The Overwatch.
In 2 days?
Oh, really? Sweet.
Just
in time to play some more Stadium. Anyway, besides that, we had some. Oh, tomorrow. Nice. So we had. This is kind of like, I don't want to say this is the downer, but this is where unfortunately Tekken 8 is just not catching a freaking break. First of all, I've never heard of some. It's been a while since I've heard some outlandish stuff where they mess like not some company. Bandai Namco is not just some company, but like to hear about like a decision that was made that was so negatively received that they like repurposed the staff just like completely. Like, I don't know if you heard about this, right? But like season 2, like the season 2 balance, how that's been taken in, right? Because it's just been on some stuff that it's been shown that they completely changed out the balancing team. They were like, hey, step into my office. Yeah, you're fucking fired. Not fired. They might be working somewhere else, but did
you really want to buff Knee's character? Huh? Did you really think about Knee and his character, and why do you need to buff it?
Shout out to Knee for winning Evo Japan.
Yeah, good job.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
But
a week.
But that the TA's just been on a crazy kind of back and forth. This announcement, unfortunately, has also been taken in back and forth. So there is the next kind of pieces of the roadmap for the season 2 pass. We got Pac Pixels, which is basically a whole bunch of cosmetics and new stages, all centered around Pac-Man, right? Pretty historic IPs. It's honestly Bandai Namco's biggest asset, right? And they have that, so that's cool. So they've got shirts, they've got stages, they've got sprays, they've got helmets, heads. What is it? Alyssa can change her head into a Pac-Man head, and it's kind of like freaky because she takes it off and kind of kicks the door. It's pretty comical though. So you're gonna be seeing all kinds of stuff like that online, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And then at the end of it, we got hit with the next character that's coming out, which is the fuck you man, as I've said.
Yes,
deemed him when the first time he's ever come out. It's Fakuram, and I had to watch the stream. Like I unfortunately I was catching up on Evo. I had to watch the stream. I was like, let me see. I want to see Twitch chat's like reaction to this, bro. Fuckers. I mean, they were not happy.
Right.
They were like, yo, who asked for this? Like, who asked was like the biggest thing I saw, the most common statement. Like, yo, who asked for this? Who asked? Why? No. Stop. Who asked for this?
Right.
Like, all caps. That did not sit too well. It kind of sucks because he's an original character that dropped in Tekken 7. Already came with weird controversies off the rip, right? Like self-contradicting. In the trailer, it shows Marduk looking up at him. Come to find out, he's then smaller for it. It's like, what happened? It was like an Abigail thing. Like, remember in Street Fighter 5 when they first showed Abigail, and it was like, yo, the size is wrong, and we were very worried about it. Then they found out he was smaller. Yeah, it happened within 2 seconds in that trailer. But the playstyle, it just didn't vibe with a lot of people. And the character itself, just like, it just didn't land. To then come from like bringing Anna back, like, okay, sure. Someone who probably could have been in a base roster, perfect, honest. To then giving us giving us Fakuramen is like kind of a slap on the face to some people, man.
Hold on, Dre. Here's the main problem. You had two staple characters in the first DLC package. Eddie and Heihachi already being DLC.
Yeah.
So we saw Eddie. We're like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. You want to put Eddie as DLC?
Sure.
Maybe we'll get Lei down the line, whatever. But then it's like Lydia. You're like,
well, you give Lydia because she was the late entry, and she was actually pretty well received in the beginning, right? People were playing her. She was kind of akin to the DLC curse of like, yo, DLC is just, and then they nerfed it. They had to, right? Like, fine, but she didn't like kind of get that same hate, and it was like kind of cool. It's like a congresswoman that's coming in and whooping ass. Like, okay, a Polish representative too. Like, okay, dope. But let's go with that.
Once we saw Heihachi, we're like, okay, you guys, we thought Reina was
trolling now.
You're going back on your word. So then it even made Clive sort of feel.
Yeah, the only original character actually in the entire season pass is Clive, and it's magic swords and a lot of swinging. It's a Noctis kind of similar Noctis situation there too. So it's like you're not really kind of going outside of a box here. What's going on? As a matter of fact, you're kind of making it smaller. To then, like I said, then teasing Anna from there, right, into season pass 2. And then like, okay, cool, we got some other characters coming in, and fuck you man comes in. Post season 2 balance issue, it's like, bro,
what
answers are you a lot of people,
right?
But I gotta also understand some of these decisions were definitely made well before things like season 2 balance being taken the way it is, right? Like they definitely have planned this out. I mean, right now what we're looking forward to in autumn is another returning character. Not sure who at this point, and a new original character coming in winter with then a stage as well coming on with them. It was not. Tekken 8 was kind of taking a bit of a fat L on that announcement. Not gonna lie.
It's like at this point, what can save it? Tifa,
right, son? Like that's. Yo, I mean, also, shout outs to Harada. He's also admitted that he's been trying to get Waffle House as part of one of the stages now for like a year. I'm like, okay, all right, he's meeting us somewhere. Like that stage in winter better be Waffle House, Hustle House, Ass Whooping House, something. Like it needs to be something good.
Yeah, secret character is gonna be Parry Chair Girl. Yeah.
If you kind of bring that with like a Tifa, you might actually win a lot of people over.
Right.
Not gonna lie, that actually might be a come up. That might be a come up. But yeah, this was not one of them though. This was not one of them. And I don't know if you saw, but like,
imagine Obama
watching Harada on stage, and oh my god, why am I blanking on his name again?
Mike Murray.
It's always with Michael Murray. Thank you. Oh, sorry, dude. They did not look stoked.
Oh wait,
they did not look stoked when they were making that announcement. They were like, "Oh shit!
No.
Oh no, this is not good." Yeah, like, you know, the DLC stages, right? Like the paid DLC stages, microtransactions out the wazoo in the Tekken shop, and then like just the balance of character choices have just like been throwing people through a loop. So it's a little rough right now. But I say they can still turn it around. It's just whether or not it can happen on season 2 is another discussion for another day. So it's from taking that fat L, what else we got? Oh, so from a fat L to a W.
Yes.
Team Reject, right? Street Fighter League dropping the equivalent of a I don't know, what was that, like 2017 Golden State Warriors kind of team thing going on here with their roster for Street Fighter League, or additions, because they do have their roster is bigger than just the 4 you saw in there, but I think these are going to be the representatives for Street Fighter League right now. We have Tokido, Lashar, Fudo, and Daigo. That video was hype. That video was like anime opening, or even it could be closings. I think it was a little more hype, so I would say it was more like anime opening type of feel. It was pretty raw. That slogan is kind of disgusting. Reject everything but victory. I was like, ooh, bar. That's raw. That's raw. But it's really cool to see, because, you know, we already knew Daigo was was going to come back, make a return to actually competition, not just streaming, right? He's been on a hiatus for a while now. And now he's like kind of like refocused in, and honestly, I had forgotten. I was like, because he could just go and just beat Daigo and go and compete, right? That's the beauty of fighting games. You could just go and compete. You don't need a sponsor. You can everyone's got 2 sponsors.
Right.
Everyone that wants to go and compete in fighting games, you got 2 sponsors that are always available to you, no matter what. It's just how happy you make them. It's my wallet and my paycheck esports. That's it. Those are 2 amazing sponsors that everyone at some point has done. And I thought Daigo was going to do the same. I thought he was just going to kind of literally be like the Ryu and just like travel, do his thing. No, fuck it. Team Rejects is like, hey, we got a spot for you, buddy. We got a big old 0 for your jersey. You are the originator. It's funny that they all do have numbers assigned to their jerseys as well. With Daigo being that 0. They did show it on the YouTube page as well. It is actually in the description. So right now we've got 0 for Daigo, Angry Bird still at number 1, Big Bird number 7, number 9 is Akira, number 37 is Fudo, which I'm like, that's kind of funny. I was like, really? Number 37? I thought hilarious if Daigo really leaned into it. Tokido at 77, because Tokido Key 77 was like his gamer tag and his Twitter tag in general, so it's like he just went with it. Lashar at 99, Kokujin at 592, and Hai at 904. I believe Kokujin and Hai, they're both for, I think they're, well, no, they're also Street Fighter, I believe. But I know they also have they have a Tekken 8 player. Is it Kokujin? I might be tripping here. I gotta double check my.
It sounds like Mokujin, so why not?
It does. And they also do have a City of the Wolves actual player on the roster. But yeah, these guys are gonna be the ones that are gonna be just taking out anybody and everybody in Street Fighter League potentially. You know, like I said, this is a great roster, but you know, it's not completely free. But that's what we're gonna leave for you guys to answer on what you're feeling on it is for this week's poll. Is Team Reject just taking everything but L's in Street Fighter League this season? Let us know. We'll be posting up the poll on all our social medias as well as on our podcast platforms that have them. Make sure to go and vote and let us know about that. Oh, also on Discord as well, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, so in the meantime, that's going to be it for like announcements. So we're actually going to be taking a quick break. When we come back, I'm gonna talk about some MK1.
Oh boy.
Moment of silence, please. We'll be right back. We're gathered here today. I'm not even gonna go through the whole thing. But we're gathered here today because we're back on the show, and we've got some Mortal Kombat 1 Definitive Edition to talk about. Yeah, for those that have been around the block enough, played enough games, we hear the definitive, the ultimate, the final
game of the year
final edition. Game of the year. Thank you. Game of the year.
Greatest hits
edition. Yeah. That usually means we're at the end of the road. Usually means we're at the end of the road when it comes to content for a game. And once again, Definitive has been slapped onto MK1, and the reception has been what?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Boone, Mr. Ed Boone.
You said
sir,
something.
Sir? Let me right here in the back. You said for years.
Mm-hmm. And more story.
Technically, we're only at 18 months.
Right.
We're not even in years.
And it was
we haven't hit the S.
Announced before Evo 2023. Released right after. Then at Evo 24. And now finished before Evo 25.
Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, we're good.
We are seeing what I thought was not going to happen anymore, actually. I thought that we had broken it at this point. Is the NRS curse. Might be wondering, hey, what's the NRS curse? We've said this before because it's happened multiple times now since we've started this show. Is NRS usually goes in a cycle, game gets announced, hype builds, characters, story, insert whatever, Injustice, MK, whatever, it's that. Releases, it's hype, shit's broken, it gets fixed, DLC, maybe you might get another expansion there. Dead. People hate it, dead. Next game, rinse, repeat. All within about a 2-year cycle. MK1 seems to be now the latest victim to it. I thought off of things like the hype of things like Floyd, which was great. That was like an awesome fucking week or two for everyone just posting shit up. Chaos Reigns, which arguably I don't think did too crazy.
Right, we both watched it on YouTube.
Yeah,
like not just that, and also not only did we both watch it on YouTube, but that character was hyped for nothing. Whatever Khan, aka Havoc Khan.
Yeah, Havoc. Also, even having content that was mined, never released.
Right.
Like there's just unlike Street Fighter, even like Street Fighter 5 or even Tekken 7, right? That got support for 5+ years easily, right? Like they just hell, and even Guilty Gear Strive now, longer support than that. Like Injustice, Mortal Kombat's just been seeing like 2 to 3 years. Like I said, once you see that ultimate or that definitive, like that's it. So like, how do we get here? Like, how the hell did this like happen? Because MK1 sold well,
right?
It sold well. The rate that Street Fighter 6 has to go to beat it is like not out of reach. Capcom just posted up; they had their best fiscal year ever. But also,
but they also have other games,
Monster Hunter and stuff like that. Like that, other IPs that are just fucking just making the mills, bro. Right. It's not just Street Fighter. But if Street Fighter continues, it could outsell. But that's how much MK1 sold. But there was just a lot of criticism that a lot of moves and criticism that came around it that kind of like stopped it from being that. Right?
I'll be honest. I don't think WB knows what they have and knows how to market or make money with what they have. Because Street Fighter, as you can see, yes, all these people bought the game early on. Maybe it's not reaching a certain peak that it could. But at the same time, they're now releasing it on Switch 2. Mortal Kombat was like, no, we got it on Switch 2, sure. It's not going to look good, but sure, whatever. So it's
Johnny Cage screenshot still
it was
his eyes are just open and it's just like eyelids and I'm like, oh,
for me, it's the rain fatality that was released like the day before, and everybody was like, "Yeah, I don't get it. All right, cool, I won't." So, yeah, it was just like, why are you trying to release it for that? Like, I don't know.
I mean, so there was just like, so I want to premise this before I go down all the listings of, the issues we've had with MK. I hope, I'm an optimist. I hope, because it's nothing wrong with like a game having definitive kind of like takes a little bit of wind out my sails when it comes to that. But having a title to a version of the game to a certain point is not unheard of. Like we had AE Edition, we had Super Street Fighter. There's variations that could just be that version of the game and they just sell that one out. Like Chaos Reigns is technically, like you can say Chaos Reigns Definitive. It's like, okay, cool. It's season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
With the, okay, that doesn't mean technically a season 3 can go. Maybe I'm just sucking on a little bit of copium there. But what I'm hoping is that there is more content potentially still down the line. All right, like I want to see more content.
Yeah, it's. I mean, when we saw Aftermath, we were like, "Oh, cool, that's what's up." You're adding to it, but that was super unexpected. We had no idea.
Yes.
We also knew that the second one, what were we saying? Chaos Reigns was coming, but it was like now that we see it, we're like, "Wait, isn't this what we just had with Aftermath?" So like, but we're not getting a real like. I feel like the story is not really flourished either, because it's like. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go absolutely. Like I think there's still much to be satisfied with.
Right, because it's sort
in terms of the game.
It sort of still turned into a retcon at the end. Spoilers if you haven't checked out the story. Sort of turned into a retcon with the whole Deadly Alliance thing, and it's like, all right, but you brought in all these characters. You even brought in the 4 character kids, and you killed them. So fan favorites like I don't know. Cassie Cage, but then oh my god, the biggest retcon is that they didn't even explain to Kate.
Fan favorites, but
Cassie Cage was a huge favorite.
Well, she was, yeah. She was one of the only ones that made it through.
She was possibly one of the better characters in X.
In terms of story, I'll say but like
in X, she had the most important story.
But MKX's story was also just like anyway.
I don't know, man. MKX story was.
We'll have this debate. Dog. Trust. Right. We'll have this debate. But though a lot of great sales, like I said, for MK1, divided from the rip on things like the cameo system, the inconsistent netcode early on, the features, right, like that were lacking, and then like things like the PC and Switch versions, like were just like delayed updates to them. Like the game was just kind of having rocky situations. Then, of course, the post-launch content fatigue. Like, they had a DLC. We had the DLC roadmap for, like, ever.
Yeah, it was.
And it took so long to get to.
Released in, I think it was September. And the announcement that showed all the DLC characters, it said the last one would be coming out by the summer of next year. And it was, I think that was Takeda or Homeland. The nice ones, Takeda and Homelander, were the ones that were coming out very late. And we're like, we want to wait for all that? Like,
Yeah, and you can say what it is about then the second set, right, of characters and the T-1000 and all that, and Conan and all that stuff. But it's like, they're working. That's the part that's getting to some people. It's like, this is like, you look at it and you think pop culture references more than you think Mortal Kombat character at the time. Yeah. Like if you just saw the promotional, you'd be like, oh my god, look at that, Homelander, Omni-Man, fucking T-1000. That looks like the Terminator, but he has a sword. Whatever. More than anything else, right? More than anything else. So it's like, it's kind of being like a bit of a shell to hardcore like lovers of the lore and what MK is. So the DLC just did not help it. Like, we were just talking about how Tekken 8 like wasn't receiving it. Like MK1 like kind of didn't like it from the rip, but it's like that's what we had coming. So it's like we knew the pie was coming to our faces. It's just like, all right, we'll just eat what sticks to us, I guess. That's all we can have. But like you said earlier, I think also like Warner Brothers is probably a big factor to this, right? Yeah. They've been just cutting costs, consolidating content across different platforms and divisions, especially in the gaming thing. Like, don't even get us started on things like multiverses, right? We've been covering that fucking burning trash can for like, you know, as much as I enjoyed the game, there's clearly issues that are going on there that are just, sometimes I feel are bigger than the studios. And like, this is just another studio under the same company that is just getting hit with this. And it's like, I can't be a coincidence either. I'm not saying that's the only reason, right, but I think there's a factor.
But there's also like, okay, I'm sorry. I did watch a Maximilian video about this. Oh no, I was listening to his Twitch yesterday. And he mentioned that there are devs on there that are good at that want to make games, but why are they stuck with fighting games? Why are they stuck with a fighting Mortal Kombat game? Like, hey, maybe a Shaolin Monks.
Bro, Shaolin Monks 2 or something, or remaster would be a banger, and we've just been yelling from the top of mountains for this.
But you know what else? It's not a problem for it to be in one of these games. You have so much data that's used for these games. That's part of the reason why I sometimes delete the game, because this is too much, too many gigs.
It looks pretty though.
It does look great. But if you're using all of those gigs, why don't you make story mode more interactive? And this Mezza stuff and all of the chaos, whatever the walking board game stuff is, nobody wants to do that, and it's slow. It's very slow.
Yeah, it was Invasion was a grind fest, right? Like that didn't help. And we harp about it all the time. Features, content, right? Like, but when they're not, even if they're in there and they're not executed correctly, it could be much more of a detriment.
And it's also part of the reason why I don't play World Tour in Street Fighter. It's just like, how many 2D matches am I gonna have to go through? Like, I can do this.
How many fridges do I need to beat?
Right, well, not just that, but like I can do 2D matches with other real players. I don't feel like doing that in World Tour right now. Like, make some beat 'em ups. I don't know. Guilty Gear XX Reload for the PSP actually had a beat 'em up area, which was cool, like a Final Fight type style. It's a cool little thing. I think Grand Blue did it too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yep. They did an adventure, Soul Calibur, and their Soul, Create a Soul, and all these other like branching path things that you could do. Also, but yeah, like MK1's like end of life support. I don't think it's due to failure. To be perfectly honest, it's due to just like, I think, internal studio strategies and whatever issues they're having. The post-launch content was just rough.
We've talked about it before. Remember the Chaos Reigns was $60. They wanted to sell it as a new game, and it's like
those decisions. That definitely felt like a top-down decision kind of deal, right? Like,
it's like, oh, we're not making any more money because we peaked at the game's start. So Warner Bros. Like, what do? We can't just harp on have a game sitting here and not selling anymore,
and not making us any more money.
Right. Yep. It's like I said, I pretty much said it before.
What'd you say, Boone? Years?
Right. Remember, they're going like the Activision route. They want to oversaturate the Guitar Heroes, or they oversaturate the Tony Hawks, or Anyway.
Make sure to buy the
3 and 4
Hawk Underground when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on that too.
We all are. But so this all just ends with a possible, I don't want to say light at the end of the tunnel, because I feel like there could be a world where they both exist. But known leaker and data miner has then posted up on Twitter that it is such an injustice that MK1 is ending the way it is. It's an injustice that blah blah blah, and then they had another sentence that had injustice in it. The point is, said injustice 3 times. Might be pointing to something. We might just be getting trolled completely. Take it with a grain of salt, but it is not outside of the known behavior of NetherRealms and what how they kind of just have this very short turnaround of games, like you said earlier, Static, that like maybe they're getting pushed into that direction, so they're just kind of furthering the habit that they already had anyway. And Injustice 3 might be around the corner. I mean, we're getting a resurgence of like Superman movie coming out, right? The Peacemaker season 2 and stuff. Like DC is kind of making a bit of a run, right? Like Marvel's on its way, but like DC's also kind of doing its thing, so they kind of want to catch it. And what better way to do it than with something like an Injustice 3, who end up selling it once again, best-selling digital comic series they've ever had. Kind of like a big reason why a WB Discovery will want to start putting resources to that.
Yeah, it's almost obvious that this, like, why didn't you go for it this time? Like, it wasn't that we were oversaturated with MK either, but it was just like we felt it wasn't the time either.
But we did go. This was the first time though we did go from an MK to an MK.
Yeah, maybe it might have been the cliffhanger
into an Injustice kind of deal. Yeah,
it could have been the cliffhanger from the story. That they're like, oh, we want to conclude this story, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't even remember Injustice 2 story at all like that. Who was the protag? Was it Supergirl?
Yeah, she was a big component to it, but technically the good ending was Batman. But you can go and play it, find out for yourself.
True, I could, but I don't want to. I don't want to put that all up in my PlayStation. So
put it all up in your Brainiac. Go watch it.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. No, you're right. Okay, that's right.
Brainiac. Come on. All right. So with that, I'm gonna leave you guys with our question of the week that we want to hear from you. How long did MK1 hold your attention and made you stay, and what made you stay, or possibly drop the game if you actually ended up picking it up? Let us know. Love to hear about it, so we can check up like kind of if there's a common thread here between everybody. We're gonna be posting this up once again on our social medias as well as on our Discord, so make sure to join up on that. We'll plug that here in a second. So again, how long did MK1 hold your attention, and what made you stay or possibly drop the game? All right, with that, that's gonna be it. We are at Combo Breaker Eve. StaticGorilla, you're gonna be there.
Oh boy,
you have a money match.
Shut up.
You have a money match to do. Guys, for those listeners out there, make sure to watch Combo Breaker to watch. I'm assuming it's gonna be on TNS.
More than likely, because
it's gonna be on Tap It Never Sleeps.
Yeah, if you've been watching
the boy on.
Yeah, if you've been watching TNS, he's been having me on almost first every week just so I can get a win. For some reason, I have not been able to get a win on stream since maybe last spring on TNS, and like, I don't know if it's nervous. Yeah, it might be nerves, it might be just good. I'm not taking away from any players, like there are good players, but like this last week I had a stick issue, or I had to use another stick. One time there was another online issue, so this one guy ended up playing me, and I was up 3 characters to 2. He was up on me 2-0, and he started to teabag, and I'm like, this is weird. So I did that to him in mid-match without actually, killing and then doing it. And therefore I was like, all right, the statement has been sent, but I need more statement. And I said, any amount. So now I've sort of eaten my words to the point of oh God, guys, this is between y'all and me. I had to play him on Friday on Parsec, and he 3-0'd me. And I'm like, all right. So
that was to give him false data. It's okay.
Exactly.
Data.
Exactly. So I said, I'll see y'all
overconfidence.
Yep. I'm going to see them offline. And we're heading to Combo Starter, which is going to be held by Frankie G and Big Dame, friend of the show.
Shout outs to Big Dame.
On Thursday. So myself and Prodigy from New York will be driving out there Thursday morning. Hopefully we can get there in time. It's an hour back. So, 12-hour drive -1. So we should be good. If we leave by 5, we get there by 4 or 12-hour drive, whatever. And yeah, I'm entering 5 games for some reason. Guilty Gear, not taking that serious. Mystery game tournament, that's going to be fun. Street Fighter 6, haven't really practiced much. Marvel is the main practice, and City of the Wolves, which I've also practiced a lot. So yeah.
There you go. Well, if you guys want to follow his travels and document his journey through what he's going down, make sure to follow him at StaticGorilla on social media, on Twitter.
I will be tweeting.
Twitch, maybe live streaming. Who knows? IRL streaming.
You know what? I never tried that. I could do that.
Do it. Yeah. Go do it. Make sure to go follow StaticGorilla on all those platforms, and check your boy out on the money match when it comes to Tampa Never Sleep.
Yes, keep your eyes on TNS, because I will be entering that auction tournament. No matter how high the money goes, if I hear Super Squirrel, I am betting. It didn't happen last year, but I've been telling Tong, put that shell on there, Squirrel Sentinel, but he probably won't. He'll probably keep the scroll in the bag. But that's last year I did enter. You would have loved this team. I got Nova and Doom. It was the first one. I don't think I paid about $30 or $40. And guess who was in the bag that I got?
Who?
Amy.
Virtual?
Amateurhouse.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that would have worked lovely for you. So and I lost 3-0. So there you have it, folks. Mothman got me.
All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode. Once again, make sure to check out Combo Breaker this weekend going on for Memorial Day weekend. Make sure to check out StaticGorilla on Tap Will Never Sleeps for his money match. Support the boy. Hit it up on Twitch on the Twitch chat. Make sure to tell him Double Tap sent you, and to give Static the energy when he gets on. In the meantime, though, make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms, on Twitter, on TikTok. You can join, of course, our Discord at doubletap.gg/Discord. Come say what's up. Come check out our awesome community there. Question of the week. Polls are posted up there. Articles, discussions. We'll probably have a couple of screenshots of Static's face to put his emotes at some point there when he gets on stream. Thanks. So you want to join in for that? Maybe we might even do a live viewing. Who knows? I'll be in the States, so we might just do that.
I didn't know
see
that.
What's going on there. Might be doing that. Okay. Hey, but guys, remember, we're taking submissions for community segments, questions, and topics. If you want to talk about something on the show, make sure to reach out to us. You can hit us up on socials, or you can email us doubletap@mash.gg. We've gotten some input already from some awesome members, and we're definitely working on those to get those done with you guys. It's going to be great discussions. But in the meantime, though, once again, appreciate y'all hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. We'll be live once again in another 2 weeks for another episode. Maybe we might do a one-off combo break episode. We'll see how that goes. It won't be with me though. I'll be out and about. Unfortunately, I got a work trip coming up. But in the meantime, though, keep safe. Make sure to support your boy Static. Remember, Static, frame advantage is only a state of mind. Don't respect it. Just reset.
Smash.
Just reset to command grab one time for me. All right, just do it one time for your boy, please. Thank you. All right, guys. Until the next episode. See y'all later. Peace.